This is going to be a terrific game. Oh, nice shots.
Goal there, that does the job.
It's a beautiful shot.
That's hit beautifully.
The atmosphere here is electric. That'll certainly get him going.
You make me feel so alive.
High-octane cricket has seen the South Africans take the series 2-up with one to play. Glorious conditions, a hot day. Dean has the coin. Tails is the call.
We're going to bat first. Looks like a really good cricket wicket here at the Wanderers.
There you go. There you go. A pass with one that just nibbles. That is through to the keeper. Pakistan have their first.
Oh, no bother chasing that. There won't be any better stroke played all day.
Scratch that away.
Beautifully driven away.
Really good control from Markram. That's going to go for 4. Brings up 52.
What a start by the South Africans. Aiden Markram has played out of his boots, shots all around the ground, and he's made it look very easy.
Just down the leg side was their connection with the willow. He's walked. Markram has walked.
Out in the 90s 3 times. Ouch. Ouch. And ouch again.
Oh, what a catch. Zubair Hamza. Shot.
So many times you think that their backs are against the wall, they are totally out of the test, and the bowlers just keep running in, keep on trying. That's good to see.
Oh, I think he's hit it. He has. Trying to get his bat out of the way and couldn't. Whoa, another one for South Africa to worry about here. Might be another one here. There should be another one here, and there is another one here. Against the odds just a couple of hours ago. South Africa bowled out for 262.
Something. No, says the ump. S. Ravi says no. Yeah, there you go. Gone! There's a second. 2 in a row. Vern the man.
Vernon Philander is a great examiner. What an extraordinary afternoon of Test match cricket. Oh, the unpredictability of the great game. The ebb, the flow, the hill, the valley. We had them all yesterday at the Wanderers. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the second day's play in this third Castle Lager Test match. South Africa and Pakistan, and glorious weather for it on a fascinating cricket pitch, and a match that none of us would pretend to know the first thing about. Let's have a little reminder of how it stands overnight. 262 all out. South Africans having won the toss and chosen to bat on what looked like a blameless surface morning and early afternoon, and only when that amazing collapse that we'll look through in our preview show today, 33 for 7 wickets after tea, only that turning things around. Pakistan 17 for 2 at the close. 245 between the teams. Kevin Peterson and Ramiz Raja alongside me. What a day.
Fantastic, yeah. I mean, who could have believed that after 2 flat sessions, Pakistan would make a recovery, and a world-class recovery, really. 7 wickets, and we saw it all, you know, the lines, the length, the discipline, and most importantly, reverse swing.
Yeah, it's why we love cricket.
Oh, we all absolutely love cricket, and we love the weather that Joburg's presenting us with here today, but what a fascinating play yesterday. I'm so happy to call something so wrong, saying you should be checking in on this 350, 400, 500. When would South Africa declare? And then a little bit of clever, masterful bowling goes, hold up, we've got something to play for
right,
here.
Yeah, well, masterful bowling. I think that's a fair assimilation of it. So Elgar wins the toss. He gets out early. That happens against the new ball. After that, batting was easy. Aiden Markram played beautifully.
He's just such a good player. He just keeps on impressing, Mark. I just think that the way that he plays, and also how he dominates the bowler. I think the bowler knows when he's running in, he's in a competition. Some bowlers, or certainly some batsmen you bowl to, you know you can bowl to them. And that's the nice batter to bowl to. But Markram, you can see the way that he plays. He plays all around the ground. There's a shot in particular where he just picks up the ball through the leg side, which makes him very difficult. That's the shot in particular. That's the one. Makes him very hard to bowl to. You bowling that channel on and around off stump, and he can whack you through mid-wicket. I think it makes it very hard to bowl to.
I mean, looking at what he produces from technical point of view, I think he's such a heavyweight against fast bowling because he can drive the ball, he can play the pull shot as well. And so ask any fast bowler, if you do not trouble a batsman on these two lengths, then you've got your work cut out. And he's such a glorious player and a real success on South African pitches as a result.
Hits on top of the bounce. So you can't just tell a bowler to run in and bowl the top of off stump, bowl the top of off stump, because he hits you on top of the bounce. And when you do that, the bowler goes, I mean, where do I go?
Great hands.
Amazing hands, absolutely fantastic hands. Great eye, great head position.
Now, the other guy that impressed you yesterday was Tienes de Bruin.
Yeah, I did. I mean, I come here, I only arrived at Newlands, and obviously I'd watched a lot of the cricket at SuperSport Park in Centurion, and he hadn't impressed there, but I just loved, there were two shots in particular, that one there through the offside. He also then plays another one through where he tries to hit it through the leg side, which means he plays both sides of the wicket, and I think he showed a lot of technique and a lot of resilience yesterday. He came out to the wicket, and his foot movement and his balance were absolutely perfect. For a bloke under pressure and a bloke not in form, well, it looked like he'd been batting and playing in Test cricket for a long time. So from my side, I've seen him play live twice in 2 Test matches. What he did yesterday showed me a hell of a lot of good stuff. And to back up what he did in Sri Lanka with that Test 100, I think that he's got a career.
Okay, interesting. I mean, that should give him enormous confidence, not just to have played the innings, but to have changed opinion. People who were questioning his place in the side are beginning to say he looks like he has...
I never questioned his place. I was hearing things where people were saying that he's not as good, or he might have not, and a lot of the press speculation about his position in the team. I've just watched him here yesterday, and I thought, he can play. The foot movement that he used yesterday and his head position and his balance, he can play.
Yeah, the only thing he has to do is not look at the scoreboard, because the moment he went into the 40s, nearing a 50, it looked just a little bit jittery.
Of course.
Yeah, because he wanted that 50 desperately.
And at a point at which in the game the bowling improved, he got found out. We liked the debut too made by Zubair Hamza. There was so much to admire, wasn't there?
I mean, not his technique. I'd say this shot here was the one shot that I thought, hello. He's actually come into the Test arena, he's been presented with a ball just short of a length, and he's whacked it for 6. There's a pull shot 2 there. Those are the 2 shots that I thought, hang on a second, this guy's got a bit of a temperament. And that's what you need in international sport. Technique is one thing, you can do it, you can get away with it. Talent is another thing. You can stand there as a youngster in your Test debut, hit a ball and bang it there. Then you get a short ball and you smack it there. I'm here to play, and I'm going to play for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, very impressed indeed. I mean, I think it's the nail on the head, because temperament is what you look for in a youngster. The technique will improve, that the quality of shots will improve, but the temperament, that the skill level was high as well.
So from young and new to, well, a little older and a little more experienced, Hashim Amla finding some form.
We like old, Marky. We like old.
Oldish.
He did. He found some form. A good wicket to bat on in the morning, and yeah, it was nice. He just built. He played around Markram, but it was the Hashim Amla of old. I mean, yeah, they say it's not, the textbook is to try and get your feet to the pitch of the delivery. Hashim Amla's not done that in his whole career. He stands there, gets into a wonderful position as soon as the bowler's about to deliver the ball, and then he just plays, and his wrists, I mean, the subcontinent wrists that he has, just a pleasure and a treat to watch.
Yeah. Plays the ball nice and late.
I think he's trying to establish himself. I think he wants to spend time at the crease, which is different to Hashim Amla that we know, because he wants to get on with the game. He's got so many shots and angles to offer, but he's been just a little subdued in this series.
Okay, it wasn't total plain sailing. 3 wickets fell. I mentioned Dean Elgar going against the new ball. That happens, Ramiz. You know that the new ball bounces and seams a bit, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's just been out tossing and then maybe having a little chat with the team as well, and then went in, make sure that South Africa got a good start. He got a good one, actually, and this was highly, highly unfortunate, because you don't want to be out in the 90s, choke down the leg side. Wow, how misfortune.
Yeah, that was Aiden Markram caught down the leg side for 90, and then Hashim almost straight after that. Was a brilliant catch at slip. So they were the 3 wickets that fell before tea. However, we would never have predicted what was to happen after tea, because there is the score at tea, 226 for 3, with powerful batting to come. 2 guys in and going well, and not for a minute looking as if they'd fall apart after the break. But, well, I'm afraid to say we couldn't have been more wrong. I mean, absolutely unbelievable. Oh, we'll have a quick look at those bowling figures. You see not much promise there, is there? Abbas, a wicket, one for Fahim, one for Shadab.
Look at the economy rates as well. They're high. The 3 newcomers that were introduced in this bowling lineup went for over almost 4 and over.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so how about this then? This is what happens in the session after tea. We just go bang, 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 bang.
And that's the power of what happens when you get the ball to move laterally and you get the ball to move in the air. Seam is something that you cannot control as a batsman. You're worried about seam. But also, when you can add a little bit of that seam movement and you can get the ball to start going sideways, then batsmen have to adapt and adjust. And I actually don't think the South African batsmen adjusted and adapted to what was happening after tea, because it was different.
Yeah,
Pakistan,
I think they were
it was
kind of
different.
shell-shocked.
Of course they were, but you have to adapt, Ramesh.
Sure, absolutely. I thought credit to Pakistan for staying put.
Absolutely.
I think for having 2 flat sessions to come back so strongly straight away. I mean, they must have had a different kind of tea, because it did happen in the end, and they bowled superbly. And the moment they sniffed reverse swing, and it's the ingrained bowling DNA that's been passed on generations. The body language improves, they go from a lower gear to a higher gear, the scales are up, and it showed in the performance as well. Wonderful piece of bowling, and you see them altering the length as well. They go fuller the moment they see some reverse.
I like their energy more. I thought they came in and tried to hit the pitch a bit harder too.
Yeah, I mean, the overall effort was sparkling. I mean, the catching was good. I think it's just the body language and how they fared in that last session actually made them come back so strongly in this test.
That was Quinton de Kock, who was now left with Steyn and Olivier and decided to go big and didn't quite get it. So he fell caught on the mid-wicket boundary, looking distraught at picking out the one man who was back there. And then the last to go was Dwayne Olivier, caught down at long leg. Nice safe catch. And all of this meant that South Africa had been bowled out for 262, and it happened in next to no time. I mean, not even a full session.
Incredible. I mean, who would ever have thought? I don't think there's anybody who would ever have thought, having seen how the wicket played in the first 2 sessions, would have ever said that this would have happened here. Have a look at these numbers.
154 for 2, 229 for 3, all the way down. Look at the speed at which those wickets fell. In no time, suddenly 262 all out. Amazing. Have a look at that card then with Aidan Markram, the standout performer there. We've already studied the batting performances, and these bowlers found a lot of spirit and a lot of skill, which is the Pakistan way. We've talked a lot about their fight backs.
Absolutely right. So the combination actually did work for Mickey Arthur and company, because I was absolutely distraught not seeing Yasir Shah in the playing 11. I think they will eventually miss him, because this looks more like a subcontinent strip for me.
Yeah.
But overall, I think the performance was outstanding.
Okay, well, thank you, boys. The talisman of that Pakistan attack is Mohammad Abbas, one of the best bowlers in the world over the last year. Top performer, top man too, and he's with Mike Hazeman now.
Mohammed, thanks for your time. What a terrific fight back, 7 for 33. I mean, how did you guys do that?
Yeah, it was very good for us, and first 2 sessions, so a little bit hard for us. After that, we had a meeting, and we rely for just keep bowling on straight and stump to stump. Don't give in to him too much runs. So this is the successful key for us.
So who handles those meetings? Obviously the guys chatted at tea time. Is it the captain or is the coach that has the chat, or maybe some senior bowlers?
Azhar Bhai told us and Mickey told us, so please keep bowling straight and control the run rate, and we did.
And there was just a little bit of reverse swing?
Yeah, a little bit reverse swing, not much reverse like Abu Dhabi, Dubai condition. For a little bit reverse, this is the helping for us.
You've turned this test match on its head with the bowling. You started brilliantly after tea, so it's so important. One of the senior players now, yourself, sets a trend. I bet you were pleased the way you started after tea.
Yeah, as a fast bowler in test team, I am feeling I am a senior bowler after 12 to 13 test matches. So I was very successful. So I feel, okay, I am the hands up, and I bowled in the tough line length, and we did, and we were successful because of After injury, you must have some little bit time for if you get rhythm, if you get some wickets, then you are good.
Terrific stuff, well played, and good luck today with the bat.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, he's unbeaten overnight. He's got to deal with the South African attack. This pitch is drying. There are some cracks emerging. I think the drama will continue. Michael Holding and Sean Pollock with me when we come back after the break.
So alive. You make me feel so alive.
So the big question is, how did it happen? We've analysed that day's cricket yesterday. We've divided into sections because there's certainly the pre-tee and the post-tee story to tell. Sean Pollock and Michael Holding are with me out in the middle on this glorious day, and we're still wondering how it happened.
Well, you have to explain it, don't you, Mark? And if you look at the first session, when me and Mark were watching, and you see the guy get on the front foot and defend, and just middle of the bat, it seems like there's nothing. They bang it in short, he just goes back and middles it. You think to yourself, well, this pitch is an absolute belter. And then you look at the game plan that Pakistan put into place, and I was actually a little bit disappointed. Being a subcontinent side who play on flat wickets, I think they took far too long to adjust. Yes, the ball was carrying through to the keeper, but their lines that they bowled in that initial spell were too wide. If we have a look at the pitch map before lunch and before the tea break, it's obviously pretty scattered there, but once we update it to see where the boundaries came from, there's a lot of balls that were bowled wide. Hassan Ali was probably the worst of the guilty parties. He bowled a lot of width, and the South Africans just whacked it away. And because it was outside the line, if it was in a good length, they could just leave it. If it was a little bit more width, they could just whack it through the offside, and they kept their two slips in the gully. So it was very difficult for them to be effective. After tea, they decided to change their game plan. They went straighter, which you should do on a flat surface with the ball not doing all that much. And they picked up all those wickets in clumps in the middle area. And we just got a package of the difference when they actually ended up bowling nice and straight. We saw how it was made life difficult for the batsmen. There's two examples, Abbas, who got the ball to nip back and move it a little bit around, and then it created problems for the batsmen. All of a sudden they had stuff to deal with, and it wasn't easy for them just to free up their arms. Inside edge, beats the outside edge, finds the wicket. Hamza not sure whether he should or shouldn't play at a ball that's tightened off stump. He's on his way. So it was a much better line, better game plan, better strategy going forward, and I'm sure Mikey's going to touch on the fact that they did just get the ball to reverse the touch.
Yeah, I think that is the important thing. Once you're getting the ball to move, if you're getting the ball to do absolutely nothing, as Polly was saying, straight onto the middle of the bat, irrespective of the length at which you bowl. If you're getting the ball to do just a bit, which was what we saw after tea, I think a little bit of a reverse swing because the ball was getting a little bit older and the bias on the ball then takes over. If we look at that delivery, the shine is on the inside, the ball just tends to come in. And we're not talking about a lot of movement, but just enough to get the ball from the middle of the bat to the edge of the bat. And that's all they're talking about. That's the shine on the inside, it straightens. This time the shine is on the outside and the ball goes towards the slip cordon. And again, you see the shine on the inside there, the ball comes in towards the right-hander. And that's all you're hoping for as a bowler. At some point, you'll get the outside edge of the bat. At some point, you get an LBW. At some point, you get wickets and your confidence grows. And of course, then you pitch the ball up a lot further. And that is exactly what we saw after tea. Once the bias comes into play, you can then start doing other things with the ball.
Okay. We also know that when the new ball moves around, nobody is better at using it than Vernon Philander. And that was the problem Pakistan faced when they came in for 10 overs last night, of which only 9 were bowled, but chaos was caused.
Yeah, in all respects, almost what they wanted to do is bowl South Africa out just before the close, because it was an awkward little period and Vernon was always going to ask questions, and I think he sat up there thinking, I need to make this new ball play, and he did. He got it nice and straight and brought them into playing some shots, 2 wickets and 2 deliveries. All of a sudden, South Africa, after being bowled out for cheaper than what they wanted, were feeling happy.
Well, that's the thing with Vernon Philander. He does not need any bias on the ball. If there's bias on the ball, he's even worse, somebody to deal with. But without the bias, he can use his body action, he can use his wrist position, he can use the release of the ball, and that is Vernon Philander. A brand new ball, he will get it to do whatever it can do.
Mighty threat for the Pakistan side this morning. Vernon had a chat with Mike Hazeman just a moment ago.
Vernon, thanks. Nice to chat to you. Gee, you guys were sitting pretty at one stage, then it all went south. Why?
Morning, Mikey. Yeah, look, I think they obviously got their plans together after tea yesterday, and I felt they bowled pretty well. There's a little bit of hint of reverse swing as well, but yeah, I think they stuck to their plans pretty nicely and paid off for them.
It needed someone to stick their hand up last night. You did. Happy with your start, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think those sort of times are obviously awkward to bat. 9 to 10 overs left in a day, and I just felt someone had to make a play, and fortunately paid off for me.
We talk about the Wanderers as it's a first session pitch often, but now you've got the new ball as well. I mean, how effective do you think you can be again today? And I've got Australia last year in mind.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's important to strike with a new ball. Yeah, we all know that, especially on this type of wicket as well. It's that slower than the usual Wanderers wicket that we're accustomed to, but there's a bit of bounce, and like you said, that new ball's going to be vital this morning, and hopefully, we can string a good partnership together and knock over a few quickly.
So, what does this track offer you particularly?
I think every now and again there is one that nip, and that's all you need. So yeah, hopefully we can exploit that this morning. Like I said, knock 2 or 3 over, and get into their tail as quickly as possible.
You mentioned they reversed it a bit. Do you think you guys will as well?
Look, I think the square is pretty abrasive, so we'll probably use that as well. Obviously throw the ball in from the boundary and get the ball to scuff up. But yeah, look, like I said, we'd like to use the new ball this morning first of all, and hopefully we can make some inroads this morning.
And terrifically, you've got this 4-prong attack, so you're not going to be overextended. Short spells.
Yeah, I'd like to see us obviously go in short spells, high energy bursts, from the 4 seamers, and look, I think it's something that we always look forward to, being part of a 4-prong attack, and look, I think we've got some amazing bowlers in, obviously within this attack, and hopefully we can knock them over, Hayes.